Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Eternal Duelist Soul. This is one of the first GBA games that ever came out. It's one of the first I ever played. It's the third GBA game I ever played that I got from a friend who owned the copy of the game at the time, which was really weird because I was in Dominican Republic at the time, and I didn't know that they had like this game available over there because I didn't even know it existed in the States. So it was really weird when I saw the game when we started playing it, but it was it's a really fun game. It's a nice little throwback since it's completely different from what Yugi has evolved to now. But yeah, you start off, Taya introduces you to the game, and you get a choice from 3 decks, one black, red, and green. Doesn't really make a difference, they all kind of are about the same, but I always choose the black one, just cause, whatever. Yeah, most of the decks that I know of, most of the decks are the same, even if they're not. There's not really that big of a difference. It's not like one of them is gonna have fucking light swords in them or something like that, so I just picked black because it's one of my favorite colors, even though technically it's the absence of color, but let's not get into technicalities. Yeah, this game is really straightforward. It's not like the newer Yu-Gi-Oh games where there's a story mode and all this stuff. It's more of an arcade, I guess, because you just have a bunch of duelists, you face them, and you just keep facing them, and that's about it. Eventually you get new duelists after you beat the current world duelists that you have. It has like this monthly, and well, how to explain this? It runs on a schedule, and certain things happen on certain days. It's nothing that major. I mean, the only difference is that little card symbol is the tournament that they have, and the other 2 are just days where you get free cards. But every day you duel somebody, a day passes. And yeah, let's like I said, the deck is pretty much about the same. Pretty sad that I got that crawling dragon number 2. Like, I know it's the beginning, but why give me those shitty 5-star monsters with like 16 attack? Like, that's so pointless. But as you'll see soon, it's not really that big of a bother. We have here our only opponents available are Muto, Joe Wheeler, Taya Gardner, Tristan Taylor, and YuGiOh. It's really funny when I first started playing this game because you start off and right there you see Yugi at the bottom, and I was really like, whoa, what the, whoa, what, how can you face Yugi right away? Like, what, he's the king of games, why would I want to face him? Like, that's suicide. And my friend's like, oh, no, he's whack. And I was just like, nah, he has to be pulling my leg. I mean, it's fucking the king of games. The show is named after him, so this duelist here must be, like the hardest duelist ever. But it's really stupid, because he's actually the weakest duelist, because this is Yugi, not Yami Yugi, his alter ego, or the Pharaoh, or a Tam, or whatever the hell you want to call him. So he's actually a pushover. But since at the beginning of the game, it makes sense. Like, it's kind of weird that they chose him. Like, I don't know. Like, he's an okay duelist. He even beats the Pharaoh. So I don't understand why he's such a what's the word, pushover. I understand why they have, Tristan and Taya. Those guys are pushovers. But Bakura's shouldn't be that bad. Joey's fucking a great duelist, but they have him here with all these scrubs, but whatever. So we have Wandering Doom, Black Pendant, Dark Hole, Dance Mode. I really hate the beginning of this game. It's just so slow. Not in terms of like the gameplay itself, because it's the first Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh game, so I understand it's kind of slow. Like they have this whole stupid when you activate a chain, it has to like confirm and like resolve the chain on both sides, which is really unnecessary. And they removed it after, I'm not sure if it was this game or the next game. Oh fuck. So speaking of which, Mystical Space Typhoon is the most annoying card to have ever in this game, because it'll ask you every 2 seconds, oh, there's something on field, would you like to activate this? Oh, you took a breath, would you like to activate Mystical Space Typhoon? Oh, your opponent looks kind of weird, would you like to activate Mystical Space Typhoon? No matter what you do, it's going to ask you. And it's not like the more recent games where you could just hold down B and it'll cancel any sort of activation that you would have present. So yeah, like I usually run like 3 MSTs, because MST is great and all, and it negates and stuff, but in this game I might just get rid of it completely. Maybe not yet, since I don't have any other card. Like I don't have Heavy Storm, which I drew or anything like that, since we're basically using a traditional list. I know the God cards are in this game. I don't know if you can use them in a duel. I think you can't. So those are literally the only cards you can't use. But anything else, you can have one. Like I have my Monster Reborn. You can even use Last Will and Snatch and Steal, stuff like that that you don't see anymore in Yu-Gi-Oh today. It's been banned to all hell. But yeah, I'm just here with my fucking hourglass, my souped up fucking little zombie, and who's the other guy? No, I don't want to pay him. Let's see. Oh, Mammoth Graveyard. Yeah, that's probably one of my stronger cards, Mammoth Graveyard. But yeah, like I was saying, the game is really like slow, as in not the gameplay, as in they start you out really at the bottom of the barrel with, you know, Yugi being a complete scrub and just having really shitty cards. So it takes a while to get into this kind of game. Like at first, when you're like, you know, you've seen the show on TV, or you've really gotten into the card game somehow and you want to play this first, it's really fun, because it's a good learning tool, and it's really exciting to see all the characters from the show. You get to face them and get all these cards, and you don't have to worry about buying a bunch of booster packs and all this stuff, which is cool. I really liked the game in the beginning, but going back on it, I would never ever replay this game except for this time, just because of how shitty it is to start. Like at first, I went to New Game because my previous save file I had all the cards, because that's the only way that I'll ever possibly play this game. Not to mention, this game is sort of obsolete, since they came out with a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh games on the Game Boy Advance. There's at least 6 that I can name off the top of my head. So this being the first, there's a lot of other games that are a lot better than this, and a lot more advanced naturally, since everything here is really oh yeah, I get to use Mystical Space Typhoon. Whew, finally, yeah. Black Pendant. Yeah, and I win. Yeah, everything's really like basic. They have a lot of like basic cards that you'll never see today. Like the kind of cards that you would get in a booster pack and be like, oh, this fucking card, and just like throw it away in a tin, or I don't know what anybody else does with their cards, but I just put it away in a tin. Like I just have a tin designated to shitty ass cards, like just a bunch of normal monsters that I'll never ever use unless it makes some really obscure deaths. But yeah, whenever you win, you get to choose from any of these 3 booster packs, and choose Dark Magician. I got another Dark Hole, which is not going to do me any good since I only use 1. But I got a Silver Fang, which is unfortunately a useful card. Alright, let's play against Yugi one more time. I'm gonna try and face everybody in the sort of a match format. So best 2 out of 3. Hopefully I don't have to go to a 3rd duel that often, since it's already 10 minutes and I've only done 1 duel against Yugi. But yeah, it took a while deciding whether I wanted to go 1st or 2nd. Since, I mean, at this stage in the game, it doesn't really make a difference. And speaking of which, what was really annoying in this game was getting used to how 1st and 2nd works, because you see 1st to go and 2nd to go, and you automatically think, okay, if you choose that, that would imply which way you're going. Like, if you pick 1st to go, you're going 1st. Pick 2nd to go, you're going 2nd. But the first time I had seen that, it was the opponent that chose, and they chose 2nd to go. And I thought, okay, so they're going 2nd. But in reality, they went 1st. And I was really confused, because every time they would choose 2nd to go, they would go 1st. And whenever they chose 1st, they would go 2nd. But it wasn't until then, after a good while later, that I noticed that it's from your perspective every single time. As in, 1st to go and 2nd to go always relates to you, the player, and it doesn't relate in general to the duelist, which is really stupid and weird. Like, I don't understand how that made any sense when they were programming this, but whatever. So yeah, there's a nasty Feral Imp on the field. Like, it's sad that I have to go in defensive mode for a Feral Imp, but it's cool because I got my Mirror Force. Destroys monsters, and then I get to draw. Oh, I got Black Planet again. So one of the cards, got our little buddy Wandering Dude over here. That's what I hate about. The other thing I hate about these the Yu-Gi-Oh games on handhelds is that the way the shuffling works is really weird, because it like you would think that it would shuffle really well because it's a computer and it's not a person, but it shuffles like a person, because a lot of times I'll get a lot of the cards that I had used previously together. So I don't know, it feels like if I was me shuffling myself. So like I had Wandering Doom last duel, I had Black Pendant, I had Hourglass of Life, I think it's called. So I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but I just feel like that happens a lot, given how many of these games I've played and how long I've played them. It happens quite a lot, to the point that like I'd be able to predict it sometimes, and even get screwed over sometimes because I'll be like, oh fuck, I don't know. I'm hoping for, like, let's say a Swords of Rebellion Light, and instead I'll just get a Winged Cleaver, just because I had it in the same. I used it in a combo earlier, so it'll just be stuck together. But whatever. The other thing about this game, they fixed it later on. I think it was in one of the 7 Trials of the Championship of Glory. I don't remember what it was. But in that game, that's when the AI got really decent, and that's when the cards also got really decent. But in this game, if you play something in defense mode, the opponent would always attack it, no matter what. Like, they can have, their shitty Mystical Elf over here, and I could continuously play things in defense mode, and they will just constantly attack it, no matter what. Like, I could sacrifice, or I could tribute a monster, set it in defense mode, and they'll still attack it, which is really, really dumb. But I think in the when you play the later duelists that are a lot better, more or less. I mean, I don't know if the AI actually gets better. I think they fixed that problem. I think they might not. Like, I know sometimes if you have like a face down card, they won't attack. But I think they fixed the whole defense thing. But usually I guess the AI is better, but it's usually just they have stronger decks. That's usually how the AI works. In this game particularly, they have better decks. And it becomes true also later on when it's just there's no AI. Every duelist just has the same AI, but they just have better decks every single time. Takrimos. I used to really like that card. I don't know why. Like, whenever I played Yu-Gi-Oh, I was always pick a random card and I would just randomly really like it. Now I'm starting to like Wandering Blade, you know, just a rip off Skull Shaker. It's the same exact card art. That's too bad. I guess I just lost. Well, yeah. Well, I think I might change the number of cards in my deck so my cards will flow better. That should give me an edge in our next game. I don't know about that, Yugi, but we'll see. Let's see. I picked Dark Magician the last time. So this time, randomly select. Okay. Musical Elf. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got the. I used to always call this card Kirby. But yeah, that's pretty cool. It's probably the strongest level 4 monster or lower I have in my deck right now. But yeah, taking down Yugi, and next episode I believe I shall take down Bakura, just cause. See you then.